This is Hena Talati. Welcome to It's Tomorrow News. Cyclones in the Arctic are becoming more intense and frequent. In January 2022, a cyclone bleeds a large expanse of the ice-covered ocean between Greenland and Russia. Frenzied gusts galvanized 8-meter-tall waves that pounded the region's hapless flotillas of the sea ice, while a bombardment of the warm rain and surge of southerly heat laid seas from the air. 6 days after the assault began, about a quarter, or roughly 400,000 square kilometers, of the vast area's sea ice had disappeared, leading to a record weekly loss for the region. The storm is the strongest Arctic cyclone ever documented, but it may hold that title for long. Cyclones in the Arctic have become more frequent and intense in the recent decades, posing risk to both sea ice and people, researchers reported on January 13th at the American Geophysical Union's fall meeting. This trend is expected to persist as the region continues to warm rapidly in the future, says the climate scientist. A major driver is the loss of the sea ice due to the human-caused climate. The floating ice reflects far more solar radiation back into the space than naked seas do, influencing the global climate. During August, the heart of the sea ice melting season and cyclone have been observed to amplify sea ice losses in average, exacerbating the warming. Like hurricanes can ravage regions far south, boreal vortices can threaten people living and traveling in the Arctic. As the storms intensify, stronger winds pose a risk for marine navigation by generating high waves and for coastal erosion, which has already become a serious problem throughout much of the Arctic and forced some communities to consider relocating inland. But it's unclear how Arctic cyclones might be changing as the world warms. Some previous research suggested that pressures on average in Arctic cyclone score have dropped in recent decades. That would be problematic, as lower pressure generally means more intense storms with the stronger winds, larger temperatures variations and higher rainfall snowfall, says the atmospheric scientist of the University of Alaska. But inconsistencies between the analyses had prevented a clear trend from the emerging, scientists said at the meeting. August cyclones appear to be damaging sea ice more than in the past, said the meteorologist of the United States Naval Research Laboratory in Monterey, California. The scientists compared the response of the northern sea ice to summer cyclones during the 1990s and 2010s. August vortices in the later decades were followed by the 10% loss of the sea ice area on the average, up from the earlier decades' 3% loss in average. This may be due in part to the warmer water upwelling from below, which can melt the ice pack's underbelly, and from winds pushing the thinner, easier to move ice around. That's all for now. For more news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News. For more global weather updates like this, subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates.